Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So I've been predicting for almost a year now that this quarter, the beginning of the 2026 first quarter, we would potentially see a stock market crash. So everything seems to be lining up for that to begin Thursday morning. Things could change. Things could turn around on a dime, but I doubt it. What we're seeing is Strait of Hormuz is Trump at the beginning of the week on Monday kind of settled the markets down, saying that we would start to escort ships with U.S. Navy ships. That's not possible because those U.S. Navy ships have to cover the carriers and so forth to make sure there's no drone attacks or missile attacks that come in and hit the carrier. So that's a no-go for U.S. Navy at this point. We're still hitting targets. They just took out a bunch of mine laying ships last year. During the Biden administration, they took 4 of the Navy's mine clearing craft and mothballed them and took them away and didn't replace them. All right. So this is, we know that this kind of stuff gets planned long term out. The deep state and their activities and so forth. But the Trump administration is doing the best it can to clean this up. So, today I saw where they dropped one of those bombs. It's like the Motherball bombs, Moab, massive, looks like a nuclear bomb went off, trying to destroy some of these missile silo sites and so forth that are underground. But they still are getting drones out to destroy a lot of the shipping that's still anchored. Like 3 cargo craft were hit today, caught on fire. So things are not looking too good. And oil prices are spiking once again. Now, when they spiked in the beginning of the week, it brought the market down quite considerably. And then with Trump's comments, to basically turn the market around. So that happened on Friday as well. So there was this huge spike in oil prices on Friday, up to $121, I believe. That is happening in the futures for the options and so forth. They've already spiked to 121 again. And now oil prices, the West WT, the U.S. oil prices are rapidly going up, over $95 now, I believe. We see Brent crude is over $100 again. So a lot of stuff is coming together, to have this market crash. The market's already been very weak. It's been, it hasn't reached a new all-time high this year. It keeps trying to, and then it pulls back. So lower highs and lower lows, and we're probably going to start to crash, I think, tomorrow. So I think it's something that everyone needs to be aware of. Oil prices will probably spike very considerably. I think as high as maybe $150, over the next several days. So you need to be aware of that. It's already on the options. They're already 121. Tomorrow, probably going to hit 121 and above. So that's going to crash the stock market. The stock market already is down. Futures are down considerably right now. You look at the, and I'll show some of this. If you look at the Asian markets, they're down considerably right now. So if you watch the Asian markets before the U.S. opens, that's usually an indicator of what's coming. So they're down over 1%, I think 1.5%, and our stock market futures are down over 1%. And oil is spiking. The price of oil is spiking, right? So again, like I warned back on Thursday of last week, be a good time to go get gas it up, and I'm going to have to go gas up tomorrow morning, hopefully before they move those prices, because I waited a day. I said, they'll probably they won't spike it in one day. Well, they did, like 40 cents in my area in Nevada. So you guys in California are going to get hammered. Now they talk about, there's a scare out there where they had, the idea that FBI is reporting that California was going to be attacked by drones. There was going to be a ship that came from Iran and was going to launch drones to attack California. So lots of scare stuff that's going on out there. I would personally, they need to bring in some mine sweepers to make sure there's no mines that were laid. So that's one thing. And right now, ships are burning, harbors are burning, throughout the Middle East. So, the Iranians still have the capability of taking out. Now, I think that Khomeini's son, he's going to be taken out within the next day or so. He'll be killed, but that's not going to stop the IRGC, because IRGC is still setting up roadblocks. And I guess Tusi, was getting called from his dad, the guy that runs the Tusi channel. He's been doing a great job of covering this war well before it even started. But his dad called him during a show today, and I just happened to be listening, and he came on and said his dad was laughing and he could hear the explosions. And he said the IRGC has set up a bunch of roadblocks, and the Israelis are hitting them because they're obvious. They're all dressed in black. They're setting up roadblocks. But the fact that they're setting up roadblocks, guys, means that the people are not fighting back, right? They're still believe that they're under threat, and they don't feel confident enough, obviously, to go out and start to take this regime down. Because this regime, excuse me, is very very deadly, obviously, and they still have some poison left in their fangs. So we're going to see this probably extend. All right. So Trump had said it was pretty much over. Never a good thing to say something like that. I don't know who's advising him, but whatever. I think I said earlier, there should be boots on the ground. And then the next day, Trump came out and said is mostly over. And I'm like, okay, all right. So we'll see. So we're seeing they're going to have to put boots on the ground. They're going to, if they don't, then they'll probably have small boats come out with RPGs that will attack shipping. Maybe still, fire some stuff off from the shore. They're really going to have to put boots on the ground. It's not all the way throughout, Iraq, but along the coastline, so they can get this oil flowing. Today, they opened up all the reserves here in the United States, Europe, and so forth. Japan opened up their oil reserves, the most, I guess they opened the spigots the most in history. So they're obviously seeing there's some problems, and they're not trying to telegraph that. But I'm telling you, I've been looking at it, and I've been intuiting this for quite some time. I don't know what was going to trigger it, but I think we're at the point where we're going to see an economic implosion, right? And this was something that had to happen. It could be part of the destruction of the deep state, their systems and so forth. But some people will get hurt. Some of you guys that are invested in the stock market, retirements funds and all that kind of stuff, it could get wiped out, right? I've been warning that you should be in silver or gold, one or the other, silver ideally. Now, silver is pulling back. Now, the reason why we'll probably see a silver pullback is because a lot of banks and a lot of financial institutions, they have silver reserves, silver and gold reserves. They're going to get margin calls. They're going to get, short positions. They're going to get wiped out. They're going to lose a lot of money. And the only way that they can cover that is to sell their backup plan, which is silver and gold. So that's going to flood the market with silver. Buy it up. Don't sell what you got. Buy it up when it goes low. And eventually it's going to go much, much higher. All right. I've heard these, there's a few sites out there that are putting out don't be mistaken about, silver. It's all because people are taking advantage of you. That's incredibly stupid. You saw how high silver went and it's the controllers that have been knocking it down so they can get out of their short positions, and they've been selling their silver because they have to cover their positions and so forth. But at some point, that's going to be done, and when that's done, this thing's going to take off. It's a sump of basically where you put money for safety. It's a great financial safety net that a lot of bankers and so forth that are good bankers, and a lot of us that have been paying attention for decades as these ups and downs have happened, and now we're at the point where this is going to implode, the market implode, banks implode, financial systems that are completely corrupt are going to implode. And if you're invested in them, you're going to implode. All right. So you need to be heads up because as I'm looking at it right now, the price of oil is still going up, 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 up. All right. So let me show you what I'm looking at. I've been looking at this all day long, watching this because I felt something like this was coming. And I didn't want to share until I felt very confident they're in the position where this is actually going down. All right, so if you look at the OVX, which is basically options and so forth, it's not trading now. It only trades during the market hours and a couple hours after the market closes. But as you see, it spiked all the way up to almost 121. All right, and today I watched oil go up and down, up and down. This is the hourly. So it's kind of sideways all day. There was one time where it spiked a little bit and the market it went down fast. I was like, what happened? And so I went and looked at oil, and oil was spiking and then it pulled back. So somebody came in and manipulated that to make sure it didn't spike. But as you're seeing right now, there's no manipulation that's going on in the futures. It is up and away. So here it is, all the way back on. Was it Monday the 9th? Yep, Monday the 9th. So this Monday, it spiked, as you guys can see, all the way up to 119. All right. So right now, the option prices are at 121. So what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Yeah. It's going to spike. It's going to spike and maybe even go a lot higher. Right. So you need to be aware to cover yourself financially, or just hold. You never know. Maybe somebody will step in and do the right thing and get the oil flowing again. I doubt it. But that's just my observation. I have very good observation skills and intuition, but we'll see. I hope for the best, but I plan for the worst. So for the worst, it looks like this puppy is going to crash pretty good. All right, so that's that. You can see that silver is getting a little bit of a pullback. It pulled back all day long. It was up over 90. So this is it was getting ready, I believe, to go after the $100 mark. Probably move pretty high, probably to 95 this week, but everybody's having to sell to cover their positions. That's what I think is already starting to happen. So it went down pretty significantly today. Looks like it's still pulling back a little bit. Like I said, it's do not sell. But if you're easily spooked, then do what you got to do. And then I think that the rest of you that are calm and cool, if it gets a pullback, you'll be like, "Thank you," right? Like I will be. And I'm going to buy. If it pulls back significantly, I'm going to buy significantly. So that's what's going to happen, I believe, with silver and gold. A little bit of pullback. It always happens in these financial crashes. You get a financial crash. You get everybody selling their positions in silver and gold, and you see the silver and gold pull back, and then they take off and they go to the moon. All right. Now, we've already seen silver go to the moon. It's gone to 110, or was it even more? 115, 20, whatever it was. Unbelievable. couple of years ago, it was like stuck at 28, and everybody's like, what, you keep saying this is going to go up. And, last year it went up unbelievable. So that's the way silver works. It goes sideways, it goes up, it goes sideways, pulls back, goes sideways. It doesn't do that now. It goes up massively, and then it gets beat down because, people that have been shorting this thing for decades and decades thought they had control of it, and now they don't. So they're trying their best to, sell their silver short positions and their paper silver, which has no relationship to real silver. And, they're getting spanked, guys. I think very strongly we're going to see some major bank failures maybe in the next week or so. And that's going to make the stock market crash even more. So if this thing does start to unravel, the debt market is massive throughout the United States, but also there's a lot of money in the stock market. So that means money doesn't just go poof, it goes somewhere else, right? So where's that somewhere else? That somewhere else is into cash and then into silver and gold, right? So then you're going to see silver and gold go to unbelievable heights, right? This year, all right? So do not listen to, there's a few, like I said, a few disinformation sources out there. I've been listening to them, and they'll have somebody that's a high roller, that's, a big investor or something like that, a picture of him. And then you get somebody putting out complete bullshit about, silver being, it's going to crash. So listen to what you want. All right. Pay attention to what you want. It's up to you guys. All right. Make your own decisions. Don't depend on me. Make your own critical assessments and so forth. So if I'm going to share the screen with Market Watch. So Market Watch right now is basically showing the Dow down pretty significantly. Let me make sure this is updated. I think it is updated, but let me double check. I'll just reload the page. So the futures on the Dow, as you guys can see, is down over 1%. It's bouncing around. The NASDAQ was down over 1% earlier. So it's going to bounce around. But, I'm going to get up early tomorrow and see what this puppy's doing. As you guys can see, gold is pulling back a bit. Silver still pulling back a bit. There's some people trying to get out of their contracts. Crude oil up 8%. Probably we'll see it up, significantly tomorrow morning, and then go to the moon, unless somebody steps in and say they're going to fix things. Now, crypto also is getting beaten down. Foreign exchange, the dollar index, the Dixie, is up slightly. That's never good for the stock market. Rates, the 10-year is peaking, right? It was 4.25. When it starts to get to 4.23 or 4.3, and then up to 4.5, you're going to see major pullback in the stock market. Who knows? Maybe it could happen in the next couple of days. So same thing. Asia, as you guys can see, is down over 1.5%. The Nikkei taking a heavy beating right now. Asia Dow, Hang Seng, Shanghai, all of them down. And Asia and Nikkei down significantly. Sensex is down almost 2%. So, and they're just getting started. All right. They're just getting started. So we may wake up tomorrow and that's down like 1,500 or something in Nikkei. It depends. Europe today was down pretty significantly. They should start to get active here in the next few hours. And we'll see what the Europeans are doing. So between Asia and Europe, you're going to see very potentially some significant stock pullbacks. And that's going to be an indicator that America is going to pull back as well. All right. So just keep your eye on that, or just be aware. Some of you don't follow the stock market. You don't care. You just, if somebody tells you the stock market is crashing, like, oh God, that means the economy is going down. And most people think that the stock market is an indicator of the economy. Absolutely not. It's the last indicator, right? All the other indicators are down massively. housing prices. We have high inflation. So everything that and cars aren't selling, people are losing their houses, losing their cars. Credit card debt levels are at extreme levels. The level of housing crashes or downturns and so forth, and numbers of houses that are on the market are above 2008 levels. So a lot of this is basically indicators that our economy is in dire straits. So the stock market is the last one. So we've got lots of canaries out there singing, and the stock market is getting ready to go. All right. So we will see an economic collapse, right? And this is part of the destruction that is part of what Trump's doing. He's destroying the old systems, and the stock market is going to be part of that. So now this is where we need to talk about the oil. If there had been a quick de-escalation, which kind of looked like it was happening, and the Strait of Hormuz flows resumed quickly, which is not going to happen, then we would have seen a pullback like we did in oil prices. And now that we're seeing that that's not really a reality, you're going to start to see these things start to spike. So we're already, if it was going to be 1 month or so, we're only in the second week. But there's predictions that if there was a 1 month Hormuz disruption, markets would tighten, which they're doing now. And tomorrow they're going to tighten, I think, very significantly into Friday. And then everybody's going to be wondering what's going to happen this weekend. If things turn around this weekend, the markets will be all hunky-dory and come back on Monday. But I'm very skeptical. I think the market is going to continue to go down throughout next week. Maybe we might see 5 to 10% corrections in the next week in the markets. Who knows? I'm just speculating that this is the way things are going to move. I don't know. So Brent rises above $100 in March. Now these were predictions that I'm reading you, and we're already seeing that Brent's already going above $100. And we're not at 1 month Hormuz disruption. We're not even at 2 weeks yet, and we're already seeing some very significant spikes in oil, which will everything moves on oil. So if you see the prices of oil move higher, like we've seen in the past, that massively disrupts the economy, and the stock market crashes. Right. So we're going to see the stock market probably crash. Extended disruption, infrastructure will have infrastructure damage. Severe supply shock. Brent could reach 150. I say a lot more than that. I think Brent could probably rise to 200 if this extends into a month, right? So they were guesstimating a month, and Brent would be above 100. No. We're going to see this thing rapidly turn around and get really bad. All right, so that's pretty much that. That's pretty clear. Like I said, the OVX, like I showed you guys on the chart, is at almost 121. That's an indicator of what everybody's speculating where oil is going, and the oil prices will probably coincide with that tomorrow. All right. So for now, the broader U.S. strategy appears focused on degrading Iran's asymmetric capability, threatening shipping. All right. Such as coastal anti-ship missiles. Looks like they've got those pretty much under control, but I'm going to show you some video where you're going to be like, I don't think so much. Naval mines, who knows if they laid some naval mines. I guess they took out the mine laying craft, but did those mine laying craft get out there and lay some mines? Drones are still a problem. I don't know where they're hiding these drones, where they're coming from, but they're still hitting, and they're causing significant damage and problems. Now, the IRGC in the past has used speedboats to do swarm attacks. They could have, RPGs and so forth, which could hit the water lines of cargo or oil ships. and cause significant damage, cause fires, and make all the crew that are, Filipinos or Indonesians, very scared. All right. So very, very emotional people. So they could have, significant problems with getting crews to actually, move those ships. Right. So it's going to be interesting. Now, there are people within the CIA and so forth, and in the special forces, naval guys, which could drive those ships. All right. If push comes to shove, and everybody gets scared and they don't want to do it, and we know that there's a clear path, but they just won't do it. We could take those ships and move them. So that's a possibility. I don't think that's going to happen, but that is always a possibility. I know people that have been trained to do that, and actually move some of those ships that are flagged as from other countries, but they're CIA controlled, right? So very interesting, how we have our hand in a lot of little pies. All right, fingers in a lot of pies. So risk of attack is too high. U.S. Navy refuses to provide escorts to ships transiting Hormuz Strait. All right, this happened just a little while ago. This article came out. This is Liberty Daily, Zero Hedge, Tyler Durden. So it says 1 week after Trump announced that the U.S. would cover insurance for ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz and would provide them with U.S. Navy escorts, Reuters reports that the U.S. Navy has refused near daily requests from the shipping industry for military escorts through the Strait of Hormuz since the start of the war on Iran, saying the risk of attacks is too high for now. And so how long is that risk going to last? The market does not like when there's confusion, and it will be very nasty, right? It can be a very nasty woman that is not getting what she wants, right? So it's gonna pull back, I believe. It's gonna walk away, and it's gonna take whatever it has and put it somewhere else, right? Which eventually, like I'm saying, is going to be silver, but not before everything gets, because the big boys are going to pull their money out, guys, and then the little investors and the guys that have their money invested in funds and so forth, then they get punished, right? And they don't have any recourse, unfortunately, unless you guys have taken my advice and putting a percentage of your money, your retirement money, into silver. You could get hurt very badly, right? So I've been saying this for well over a year, and if you've been blowing it off, you effed around and you're gonna find out, right? So the U.S. Navy has held regular briefings with shipping and oil industry counterparts, and has said during those briefings it is unable to provide escorts for the time being. 3 unnamed shipping industry sources told Reuters they added that the shipping industry has been making requests almost daily during the calls for naval escorts through the strait. The Navy does not have the ships. They're still doing, bombings and shooting missiles and, all kinds of crazy stuff. And they're not going to leave those carriers stranded, guys. They're going to make sure they protect them. And it takes a lot of destroyers to do that. I got 11 destroyers out there, and they need them all around those carriers, right? And they're not going to move them. And that's it. There's no more that are out there under the Biden administration. They took away the shipping, probably because they knew this could be a potential thing that would happen once Trump came in, I bet. All right, so here we are. One of the sources said the Navy's assessment during Tuesday's briefing had not changed, and that escorts would only be possible once the risk of attack was reduced, which, judging by images like the one below, which I'm going to show you right now, everybody's like, oh, this is a lot worse than we thought. They don't have control of everything there. So this is an insane, as you guys can see, an insane image from the bridge. Imagine you're on this ship, So this is container ship arriving at the port of Salah in Oman. I have been to Oman. I've been to this area. It's a very nice area. The Omanis are really good people. So this is earlier today as flames engulf multiple port facilities and oil tanks at the MENA petroleum facility, resulting from several impacts by one-way attack drones launched by Iran. So you got ships burning out there, and the water ships that are basically trying to put it out. You got these oil tanks up here on fire. So not looking so good. All right. So here is there were 3 different container ships that were hit today. Authorities say it is one of 3 commercial vessels that were targeted on Wednesday, and several crew members are missing. They're probably dead. So this is a Thai ship. All right, so you see there it's on fire. Big blasted hole at the waterline. That's devastating for a ship. It can't get underway now. Out at sea. It's got to be repaired. That's going to take a long time. All right. So, and 2 other ships, I guess, were also hit. So again, this is far from controlled, and it's obviously a lot worse than they want to let on. Right. I believe that they're doing an exceptional job of blasting the hell out of the IRGC and the old regime. Like I said, baby boy, right? Daddy's dead, and baby boy is going to die soon, right? But what would that mean? It will mean that someone else will step up. They will elect somebody else. This is the way these knuckleheads do this. I've fought these guys for decades, guys, and they don't have any common sense. And they know that if they give up, they're going to be hunted down and probably exterminated. All right. So they're going to fight to the end, and whatever they got, whatever they've been hidden away with such an event. Saddam Hussein did the same thing. He had a lot of guerrilla warfare that started to happen. The people of Iran, they wanted a regime change, but they ain't fighting to get it, right? They'll demonstrate and get their asses handed to them, but they're not going to fight, evidently. We don't see them grabbing guns from the people that are getting taken out and then rushing other places. Maybe they're doing it. I don't know. But from what we can see right now, it's not happening. Now, guerrilla warfare, I believe, has been ongoing against the IRGC, and this could be from, I believe, groups that are within Iran, Iranians that are actually involved in that, probably with the help of Mossad, CIA, and so forth. But they can't put together a large force to go against a large force, right? Because they'll be found out if they start to group together. The IRGC will spot them and come in and just annihilate them. So the only way they can fight them right now is guerrilla forces, special forces type tactics, hit and run. They survey a weak spot. They come in, try and sneak in the best they can, plant explosives, or maybe take out a few people, and then skedaddle out. That's not going to take down this regime, right? There's going to have to be a lot more boom booms, all right? And like I said, all along the coast, there's going to have to be boots on the ground. I don't know why they haven't done it yet. They're trying to say that this is almost over. I don't know why, but that's part of the Trump disinformation that he does in this type of warfare. So I'm not discounting that. That's probably what's going on. I would probably do the same thing if I was in his shoes. It's going to last longer, but you tell him, "Oh, we're almost done," and then everybody's like, "Oh, it's almost done. We'll just relax then," and then bam. And then you put boots on the ground and, take over areas that need to be taken over. Possibly. It's not possibly going to happen, guys. It's going to be boots on the ground, right? And that doesn't mean we're going to put in huge military army and sweep across Iran. Not going to happen, right? So they will secure the coastline so they get that shipping moving, so they can settle the world economies to a certain point after they've crashed, right? But at this point, things are getting moved back a little bit, and this happens with war. Of course, you're going to have all the detractors and all the naysayers, say, I told you, doesn't know what he's doing, and he's ruining it. He's going to start World War III, blah, 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 blah. And so, no, it's going as planned, pretty much. All right, like I said, the OVX index is, we'll see on a couple hours before the market opens tomorrow. I believe you can, write down those letters, OVX index, or CBOE, crude oil ETF volatility index. It measures the market's expected short-term fluctuations in oil prices based on the options prices of the United States Oil Fund. It is used by traders to gauge market volatility and potential price movements of crude oil. So again, to hedge, if you do have funds and you're not going to, you can't pull funds out, or you can't transfer funds or whatever, which is the way they set us up to fail. You can you may be able to cover yourself. And I am not an expert. Well, I am kind of, but I've been doing this for decades and decades, but I'm not registered as an expert, so you can't take my advice, all right? But if you do take my advice, or if you were wanting my what I'm going to do, not necessarily my advice, and I opened put options today because I felt something potentially coming, and I watched it bounce around. We're probably going to be big into money tomorrow, but I'll probably open up more put options, maybe do some short positions tomorrow. So we'll see. But you got to be ready to close those out, turn those around. If you can't watch the market, because if I open up options and shorts, I watch the market all day long, right? I put my finger on that pulse and I watch it, and I look at all the news. And if something shifts, I'm like, boop, or I add to positions. So that's an option for you. Options are options for you. I would say put options. But if you're if you think this market is going to turn around, which maybe you're better prognosticator than I am, call options. So you might lose everything on those. But anyway, tomorrow is going to be one you want to look at. All right. So it could be the indicator that things are really going to get ugly for our economy. And this is hopefully you guys have, stocked up on food and water, and all that stuff. You got bang sticks and plenty of bang material going on those bang sticks. And you're in a position where you can, keep your family safe, or if you need to, you can get up and roll, go to grandma's house, whatever. But the future is a little bit dicey right now. But those that keep their wits and are clear-headed going forward, you'll not only survive, you'll thrive, right? So many of you don't have the option of investing or buying silver or anything like that. So I would just say, if you're not in that position, that category, at least know that this market, if it starts to crash, that's gonna affect the economy, and by that I mean job loss on a massive scale, closings, businesses shutting down, people losing, unemployment skyrocketing. So all these things could, and I believe will happen at some point, but is tomorrow the start, right? It could be. All right. So just be heads up, be safe out there. And those storms and so forth, there's going to be a lot of storms. I should have said this days ago. I was like, I should put out that there's going to be a lot of tornadic activity, and there already has been. So I feel kind of guilty for not, putting that out there. But I think there's going to be some heavy damage from tornadoes because we're seeing it's going to be a long time before we see spring in some areas. Like I said last year, and I said this year will not be different. Now, some places like where I'm at, we're seeing next week we're going to see spring, right? And that's because there's going to be a massive push. Polar vortex is going to push all the way down, all the way into Florida once again with freezing temperatures and massive amounts of snow, several feet in a lot of the northern areas, and maybe even all the way down into North Carolina, right? So several feet of snow, potentially back-to-back storms. So just be heads up, we're in some very dicey times. I put out that there was somebody that predicted there was going to be tidal waves. They're going to sweep across the East Coast on the 15th. I don't really feel that's going to happen, but you just have to be aware. There's all kinds of predictions out there. Are they accurate to the day? I usually when I see it's going to happen on this day, I'm like rare, but you just have to be aware. Like I said, do I think there's going to be massive tsunamis on the East and West Coast? Yes. I don't know when yet. Or is there going to be a New Madrid earthquake, massive earthquake? Yes, I think so. When? I can't say, although there's predictions all over the place out there for that, right? So again, you need to be able to, take care of your family, have food and provisions. If the Mississippi River dumps all the bridges and opens wider than it is right now, it's going to isolate a lot of people, right? So, and then the people that are along those shorelines are going to get hammered, right? Memphis and so forth. So will it happen? I don't think yet, but very, very possibly in the future, right? This year, possibly, probably. So, that's all I can tell you. Because just like this war that's going on right now, it looked like maybe things were going to be, turn, and turn over pretty quick. I was very skeptical. I was like, because I've been in that area. I've fought against the Iranians for decades, and I know how crafty they are. They're very, very crafty. They're very, very, very. They're a blade culture, and if you don't understand a blade, a lot of Americans it's a gun culture, and that's good because a lot of you guys are like, well, bring a knife to the gunfight. Yeah, that's right, but it's a mental, creative type of thing. They'll sneak up on your ass and stab you before you even get to your gun, right? So that's a blade culture. If you haven't studied the blade, it's a completely different mindset, and it helps you be creative like them and learn how they think and learn how to defeat them. So if you're not a blade guy, so, and that doesn't mean that you like to carry a blade. It's like how to use that blade and insert it in places which cause instant death, or what a switch. All right. So if I stab you and you're carotid, it's a switch. You're going to take, you might pass out right away, but it will take, 30, 40 seconds for you to bleed out and die. In other areas like your femoral around, your groin, take a little bit longer. So if you don't understand these things, stabbing the kidney to cause, a nerve response that freezes the body, all these different things, you learn as a knife fighter, and it teaches you how they think. And I just got along with the, people in the Middle East and the Far East because I was a blade guy, right? We just understood each other, and it's mutual respect. But does it mean that I'm weaker because I'm a white guy and they're blade people? It is if you don't understand the blade, you are weaker, right? So unfortunately, because you don't understand the way they think, It's a totally different way of thinking. All right. So, and you're not going to learn overnight. But I do suggest you go look the art of the blade and knife fighting, uh, mental skills, and so forth. There's grappling skills, which takes your consciousness to another level. All kinds of different things. Shooting, yes, but I will tell you that my shooting skills and my other skills went to a whole nother level, much higher when I learned the blade, right? So it is a way of consciousness. It is a way of like putting your brain into a different state of consciousness. It's very creative. And if you don't have that creativity, you can be outwitted and outcreatived. And that's what they do. That's what a terrorist will do. They will look at your patterns and they will get creative in how to take you out, right? So you need to be, very, very high on the intellectual side, and to get to those levels, you need to learn the blade, right? So start learning, all right? Get out there and start researching, and some of you guys I know are going to be on it. Good for you. You're going to be better for it, right? And you ladies too. Ladies, my wife learned the blade, and she's like, I don't like guns. But she is unbelievable with the blade, right? So, wow. So, and that's good. She's got a different mindset, and I saw her mindset shift when she learned the blade. So, yeah, ladies, yeah, learn the blade. I mean, you can't always carry a gun, but you're in the kitchen with that knife. If you know how to use that knife, ooh. All right, so watch out. Yep. All right, guys. Lots of love. Now, again, love is the most powerful force in the universe. I keep telling you this, but a lot of you guys don't understand because you don't know the art of the blade, right? So the art of the blade will take you into those levels of consciousness. So you'll understand what I say when I say love is the most powerful force in the universe. We've heard that, right? You've heard that over and over again. I've used that love energy, and it is extremely effective. I've taken down a lot of people that no one else could get to, right? So anyway, and that's through love. So love is very powerful. Stay in the love vibration. Send the love to all the baddies, right, that you can think of. Just send them love. It's God's love. It's not, you don't have to go, oh, I love you. No, it's nothing like that. It's an energy frequency. It's God's energy. And when you send that to somebody that's evil, it makes them quite weak and vulnerable, actually, because they use that very evil vibratory stuff to make us fearful, or try to. I don't go to fear. But if they put you in the fear consciousness, then they control you. And there's a lot of people that are fearful out there, a lot of different things. And that's very sad to me. So that's why I'm always saying, stay in the love vibration. I hope it makes impact on you. All right. All right, guys. I wasn't going to do anything else today, but I started seeing all this activity, and I was like, I got to share. I got to put this out there, and hopefully, you guys are ready for whatever. Right? So it crashes, it goes higher, whatever. Right? So I'm able to move and stay limber and move around and float like a butterfly and sting like a bee, right? All right, that's enough rambling man. All right, so all right, guys, stay in love vibration, and I will see you guys tomorrow sometime.